When magic is done right, it can surprise, amaze, or perhaps downright confuse. However, when done wrong, it can be messy, awkward, and in some circumstances, pretty painful. Unfortunately for our magicians, the tricks in this video are the latter. Join us as we take a look at the top 10 magicians whose magic tricks were exposed live on TV. Number 10. Teleporting trick gone wrong. This magic trick is made to seem like two people have switched position by teleportation and the power of magic. All this takes place inside a raised box behind a small curtain. However, these vanishing/teleporting tricks never seem to go as planned, resulting in a little bit of embarrassment for both the magician and the audience, and this trick is no different. In this trick, the curtain actually gives way during the act, and the assistant got caught attempting to climb up the ladder. You've got to feel sorry for the guy, especially when you hear the announcers bursting into hysterics. But as any good performer, the show must go on, and he continues his trick. Number 9. Rigged sword swallowing. Sword swallowing is a dangerous trick to do, and this guy is risking his life performing it out on the streets for tourists. Or is he? After giving a dramatic speech in front of wide-eyed bystanders, the magician places the large sword in his mouth, lets the blade hilt go for a while, and then takes it out of his mouth. Once he takes it out of his mouth though, that's when things go a bit wrong for him, and his trick is exposed to his audience. As you can see, the sword is actually one of those retractable or fake swords where the blade falls back into the handle. The audience notices and starts laughing.
Yeah, come on, yeah!
And after a brief look of embarrassment, being the showman that he is, he laughs it off. Better than getting upset about it, right? Number 8. David Blaine card trick. David Blaine is a world-famous magician whose real-life magic in this trick was undoubtedly the way he handled himself after his mistake. Blaine has been performing magic tricks for over 20 years, so you would think that he's mastered his tricks by now. But even the most experienced magicians can have their off days. The slightly embarrassing thing with this trick though, is that it isn't very complex with it being a simple looking card trick. One of the girls involved with the trick rolls a 4 on the dice, meaning the next girl should have picked the 4th card along, revealing the 6 of hearts as the magical card revealed. However, that didn't go as planned and the card that was shown was the ace of clubs. Whoops! This trick was exposed all by his sleight of hand, but hey, he makes light of the situation and laughs it off.
Oh, well, close. No, but the truth is, you see how the ace really looks? Like if you look at it, see how it really looks like, here, watch. See how it looks like the 6 when it moves, kind of? See that?
You've got to give the guy credit for his composure in a slightly embarrassing situation, especially with it being broadcast on live TV. Even world-class magicians can get things wrong, right? Number 7. Reality TV show trick gone wrong. It's no secret that reality TV shows are famous for witnessing embarrassing and cringe-worthy content, and this trick is no exception. This one is made worse for the fact you can see the judges and live audience's reaction. In this trick, the magician attempts to pull his assistant's body to the side and shows her arms are still moving after doing so. The illusion works only because of a black cloth in front of her, which camouflages in with the black curtain at the very back of the stage. However, in this clip, the illusion falls short when you see her arm move into position, plus, to make things worse, the fabric falls down that's covering her body, completely spoiling the illusion for the people who may have missed the earlier mishap. Once the performance is over, the judges are allowed to have their say and call the magician out on the slip-ups, but instead of accepting the criticism, he blatantly refuses to admit anything went wrong.
You made a few mistakes there, right?
The illusion went perfect.
Number 6. Mass Magician Card Trick. Awkwardly enough, this magician opened his act saying that this card trick is something people of any age can do.
This is something that is actually on the DVD that people at home can do. All ages. Magic is for all.
Ele tá dizendo que essa mágica.
Yet funnily enough, he still manages to muck this one up. And with it being on a live talk show, it's quite a bad time to make a mistake. The trick is meant to go that the spectator separates a deck of cards into 4 piles, then proceeds to mix them up, with the end result being that the aces are on top of each pile at the end of the trick. To do the trick, you just need a deck of cards and a bit of magic flair, and you're good to go. Although the spectator thinks they're cutting the cards in a random way, they actually aren't. It's a trick that involves cutting the cards in a certain way, and as long as you play your cards right, sorry, couldn't resist, you should have 4 aces along the top. In the clip coming up, everything seems to be going smoothly with the trick until he starts revealing the cards. And they're not all the aces in the deck as they're meant to be. Instead of accepting that his trick has gone wrong, he tries to make out that he intended the cards to turn out that way.
You found all the aces. Oh, except for one.
Come ela fez isso?
Wait a second. The 5, maybe that's giving us a clue, because that's not correct.
But it doesn't seem like the presenter is buying it, or for that matter, probably anyone watching it on their television. Now, to be fair to the masked magician, it's likely not his fault. The presenter of the show probably didn't do exactly what she was asked to do, mucking up his trick and causing a little bit of embarrassment. Before I reveal the next example, you should subscribe if you've enjoyed this video. We upload amazing fact-filled list videos daily. Also, make sure to click that bell icon to stay updated, or you'll regret missing out on some amazing knowledge that could have filled your brain. Now let's get back to it. Number 5. Acid trick gone wrong. Sometimes when things go wrong on stage, it can be quite humorous. However, this mistake exposing this magician's trick was anything but, with him receiving chemical burns and having to be rushed to the hospital. In this trick performed on Vietnam's Got Talent, he fills 1 cup up with diluted acid and the other with something safe to drink. He gets one of the judges to shuffle the glasses and intends to drink everything except the poison. He goes for the glass with the acid in it first, and once he'd put it in his mouth, he spits it out. But due to swallowing some, the damage has already been done. Being the trooper he is, he actually finished the trick, even though you can imagine he must be in a fair bit of pain. The sad thing is that the judges knew that he had drunk the glass filled with acid, yet did nothing to help him and laugh. Not cool.
Anh Toàn.
Thankfully, despite suffering from second-degree burns to his lips and mouth, he survived after a few days in the hospital. In later media reports, the magician blamed everything on stage fright, though some have speculated it was all planned to draw attention to the show and himself. Number 4. Another card trick gone wrong. What's that saying again? Don't perform with children? Well, this trick is no exception. You would think that children can be easy to fool when it comes to magic, but all it takes is one to notice what's going on, and your trick is mucked up for good. The magician doesn't even get that far into the trick before Murray picked him up on things.
Murray, now watch very closely. We have 3 cards.
No, it's 4. I can see another one under this one.
Oh, Murray. The audience seemed to love it, however, and the magician is left speechless for a second before quickly recovering and getting Murray an extra round of applause for being so smart. Number 3. Criss Angel flying. Criss Angel was a big household name in the magic world back in the early 2000s and was known for his extravagant tricks, such as walking on the side of buildings, making huge objects appear out of nowhere, and also levitating. Yet one of his levitating tricks came under scrutiny due to its budget-looking editing, which is surprising as you'd think they'd put a lot of effort into editing such a trick. After all, Angel holds many world records under his name and has been the highest-ranking magician placed in primetime television. But if you recap the aired clips, the visuals are all over the place, with the sky looking different in each shot, proving that they must have filmed multiple takes. Also, after the trick is played, they showed a time-lapse of the flight. Funnily enough, this time-lapse doesn't match up with the previous shots, as a person is missing from one and not the other. It even looks very obvious that he's attached to a wire because it sways as he levitates, and it isn't very smooth. Also, the responses from the spectators couldn't have looked more acted if they tried.
He was just like 2 stories high, just floating there. I have no idea. I'm just so mystified right now. It is the best thing I've ever seen in my life.
Number 2. Walking on water. Dynamo is known to perform tricks that leave people astounded. One of his tricks that does just that is his walking on water illusion. However, it may not be as mystical and magical as it first seems. It's not like he's walking with some inflatable shoes. Instead, it's all done with a clear plexiglass platform slightly under the water's surface. Add that combined with a magician who is acting like he's walking on water and you have yourself a neat little trick. Dynamo has done this trick a few times before, however this time something went a bit wrong. The police boat, which seems to have been organized to pick him up after his walk on water, bumps across the plexiglass platform as it drives away. This is met with laughter and the people on the boat looking back. Needless to say, I think Dynamo may have been feeling a little frustrated. Number 1. Levitating above the shard. This is another trick performed by Dynamo, but instead of plexiglass, it's with wires. His performance was conducted in London and wowed onlookers as he levitated 1,000 feet above the ground. However, he was soon to come under criticism when the public took to social media to show the rest of the world that you can actually see the wires supporting him. It doesn't seem that Dynamo was fazed by the comments, as he said that the images were taken at a rehearsal of the trick and that the wires were removed for the real thing. Whatever was used to help him levitate, it takes a lot of guts to hang out on top of the tallest building in Europe. Which one did you think was the most embarrassing for these magicians? Let me know in the comments down below, and until next time, thanks for watching.